A closed door.
A man standing before it, drenched in the endless rain. Perhaps the heaviest burdens in the world are the words left unsaid. Or perhaps it's the heartbeats that go unheard. And standing before that door was Jim. What if the story of two people who grow further apart the more they love was made into a film? Today, we are going to listen to the story of that film. In this film, we first see the springtime of Jim and Nina's love. They met by chance, on a park bench. They started by talking about books and movies, and soon realized their worlds were one and the same. Her laughter was medicine for his restless mind. He came into her lonely world, like a celebration.
Journeys together.
Sunsets at the beach, a time filled with simple happiness. One day, holding her hands, he said with a heartfelt sincerity, "Finding you is the best thing that ever happened to me." And with a smile in her voice, she replied, "You're the one who made me who I am, Jim." But, like in every story, there was a turning point here as well. One day, Jim prepared a surprise for her. He had arranged a job for her at the same company where he worked. He told her happily, "Now we can go together and come back together every single day. I can see you all the time."
She tried to smile,
but he didn't notice the light in her eyes fading. In that moment, his love began to feel like a chain. She feared he was building a wall around the freedom she cherished. That's where the story changes. Her replies became shorter. She started avoiding his calls. In her own world, in her own silence, she found a temporary peace. When he'd ask, "What's wrong? You seem off," she'd deflect with, "It's nothing."
he tried to give her more love.
He tried to solve a problem that she never said she had. He bought her gifts, took her to her favorite places. But the closer he tried to get, the more he felt her slipping away, as if beyond a wall of glass. Why did Jim's love feel suffocating to Nina? And why couldn't Jim bear her distance? To find the answer, the film takes us into their pasts. First, we see Nina's childhood. Overly controlling parents, the birthday dress she didn't like, but her mother bought for her with love. Her diary entries read without permission. The friends her father pushed away, saying, "They are not right for you." Every time, the reason she heard for all of this was the same sentence: "It's because we love you, dear." Her room became a fortress, her silence a shield. In the pictures she drew unseen, and the songs she heard, she found freedom. The lesson she learned was this: love is a golden cage. It offers safety, but not freedom. To be loved, you must surrender a part of yourself. That is why, years later, when Jim's love knocked on the door of her world in the form of a job, she felt suffocated. She was afraid that if she opened that door, she would be trapped in a cage once again. And Jim? The film shows us his world, an empty house waiting for a sound. We see flashes, a little boy at a large dining table, the only sound being his own fork against the plate. A brand new toy sitting in its box, its purpose unfulfilled. A pair of small eyes, pretending to be asleep, just to catch a glimpse of a parent's face in the dim light of the doorway.
His childhood wasn't a lesson.
It was a long, silent wait. A wait for a door to open, a wait for a voice to call his name. And in that silence, a fear was born, a fear that whispered, "Love is not a resident, it's a visitor. If you don't hold on tight, the door will close."
So when Nina, his home,
began to pull away, he didn't see her needing space. He saw an empty house again. He heard the silence he ran away from his entire life. Her short replies were the sound of that front door, not opening. Her distance was the sound of his own childhood loneliness. And so he held on tighter, not with gifts, but with pleas, screaming the same silent prayer, "Please, don't leave." At this point in the film, we understand. They weren't fighting each other. It was the two scared children inside them, at war.
the climax of the film
Is the same scene we saw at the beginning. Jim standing in front of Nina's closed door. Anger, sadness, and helplessness made his heart pound. The fear of losing her was driving him mad. His foot lifted, ready to kick the door down.
But in that moment,
Something stopped him. Perhaps it was the fear he last saw in her eyes, or perhaps he saw a reflection of his own pain in her. For the first time, he stopped thinking about himself and thought of her. He doesn't knock on the door. Instead, he sends a message. "You don't have to open the door. I won't try to break it down. But I want you to know, there's someone in this world who understands you."
the film ends with the image of Nina.
Reading this message. Does she open the door? Do they get back together? The film doesn't show it. When we hear a story, the first question that comes to mind is, what happened in the end? But some films don't aim to answer that. Sometimes, a director tries to ask a much bigger question. The question is not, did she open the door? The question is, what is the invisible wall? Is it the silence between Jim and Nina, or the prisons built by their pasts? Or is it something else entirely? A wall that isn't in the story at all. The one that rises between a memory and a heartbeat.